Welcome back. Car dealers are calling on the Biden administration to tap the brakes on EV mandates. Joining us now is one of them, Celebrity Ford of Toms River, New Jersey owner Veronica Maoli. Veronica, it is so good to have you with us this afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Veronica, I understand you are one of the thousands of car dealership owners signing on to the letter. You want Biden to step away, pull back from this EPA mandate that would require roughly 2 out of 3 cars sold in the U.S. be electric by 2032. Take us through your rationale. Why sign on to this letter? What do you want President Biden to know?
It's really a pretty crazy concept if you think about it and you break it down. The government is trying to force consumers to buy a specific product that they frankly are not interested in. There's this big trend mentality of having the newest, shiniest, most unique thing on the market. But the reality is that it is just not feasible for our consumers. It is not cost effective. It is dangerous. It's not time effective, and it's just really not feasible right now.
Veronica, when you talk to customers about a potential EV, you've had them on the lot, and they bring up the infrastructure issue, because that's what Biden's all about, infrastructure. What are they saying to you about charging stations and the ability to power up your car when you need to?
You know, it's kind of crazy that Biden is so heavy on infrastructure, but we don't have the infrastructure to do any of this. You know, there was an experiment that was conducted with a Rivian that this person went to 30 charging locations. 40% of those locations had an issue with either payment processing, connectivity, or compatibility with their vehicles. I mean, could you imagine if 40% of the gas stations that we stopped at couldn't provide us gas for our vehicles to get where we need to go?
But Veronica, what about next year? That $7,500 electric vehicle tax credit that was in the Inflation Reduction Act, that's going to be available at the point of sale to potential car buyers starting next year, rather than it being delivered at when someone files their tax returns. And there's some certainly discussion that that could juice EV sales in 2024.
I think that the reality is that consumers are going to realize that while an incentive sounds great, the convenience of it is really not going to outweigh the benefit of saving that money up front. I think that they're going to catch on, and we have many people come into our dealership, and the Mach-E, which, you know, I have a Ford store, so the Mach-E is really, really popular because it's really cool and shiny, and it's the Mustang truck. But every time we start talking to a customer about it, they're like, oh, it's electric. Okay, never mind, I'm not interested. You know, it's completely inconvenient for the consumer. And if you want to talk about infrastructure, every single EV is about 1,000 pounds heavier than a regular gas vehicle, which means that if you could imagine a bridge holding a plethora of cars and each car is 1,000 pounds heavier, our physical infrastructure in this country is not built for that weight.
That's a really good point, Veronica. It's not just about the availability of charging stations. It's also about the quality of our roads and bridges and tunnels. Excellent point. Veronica Maoli, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.